We're going to walk you through the installation of the J&L oil separator for your 22 and up Tundra. Including the J&L kit is an oil separator, 2 hoses, dress-up ends, mounting hardware, hose clamp, and mounting bracket. The tools you're going to need for installation is a 1/4 inch socket, 10mm socket, extension, ratchet, Phillips head screwdriver, a right angle pair of long needle nose pliers is very, very helpful. You can pick these up rather inexpensive at a place like Harbor Freight. And light grease or oil. Let's get started. All right, first step, we need to remove our engine cover. So you're just going to pull up on the cover and pull away. Once your engine cover is removed, we're going to work to the factory PCV line, which is on the back of the intake manifold. You see that hose there behind the harness. It's got that metal clamp. We're going to work on getting that removed. When starting this, being that you have to all but lay on the engine to get back here, I suggest bringing the 2 hoses you need to connect back here with you, along with the clamps and the required tools. So hopefully you can knock all this out in one shot and not have to get up and down off the truck multiple times. Now, to buy us some more space, we're going to remove this harness from this pin. So just lift up on the front of the harness and pull, just wiggle it, it'll unclip. And then this is our line. I am going to attempt to record this. As you see, it's a very tight spot. It's going to be difficult for me to keep a camera back here, but we'll see what we can do. All right, we have slid the clamp back. Used our right angle needle nose to do that. So usually these hoses are pretty stuck on the barb, just from, you know, a couple hundred heat cycles, even in a brand new truck. So a lot of times you got to grab the hose with a pair of pliers and kind of twist it free. So I'm going to attempt to do that with a long pair of needle nose and then pull it off of the connection. So I got it around the hose. I'm just going to gently squeeze and twist. See if I can pull the hose off. Oh, actually it came off really easy. This is not a camera trick. This is the very first time I've had this hose off. So luckily that came off real easy. Hopefully that's the case for you. But if not, again, just grab it with a pair of pliers and twist, and that'll come right off. All right, so we have 2 hoses to connect. We have a hose with just a 90-degree fitting. This is going to plug into our factory PCV line. That line that we just removed is heading down to the PCV valve, which is underneath the intake manifold. And this is going to plug into that, and this will be our dirty side line. So this fitting will plug right in. Then we're going to slide our clamp up to complete that connection. So let's do that. And that's plugged in. So now we just need to slide our clamp up. I'm going to take a few photos of this and insert it into this video because it is so difficult to see on the video. All right, we're using our right angle needle nose again. I'm going to slide this up this hose. pull too hard on the hose because it is connected to the PCV, and we don't want to disconnect that as it's very difficult to get to. Alright, so we just need to slide it by this barb a little further. Our barb is a little bigger than the factory one, so a little bit more difficult to get it up the hose, but it's coming. There we go. Now for our other hose, which has the short rubber hose, we want to pre-install our hose clamp. And I want my hose clamp to be on the upper portion of the hose because that's going to make it easier to tighten. So I'm going to slide that back. You may need to tighten that clamp a little bit if it's too loose and wanting to wiggle around too much. But we're going to just come down. And push it onto our fitting. And get our hose clamp where it wants to be. Put my finger on the back of the clamp to keep it in the spot I want it. And you want to make sure this, now it's just tightening on plastic, but you want to make sure it is tight because the intake manifold does pressurize. So I'm going to just double check this with my 1/4 inch ratchet. Get that snugged up. And just give it a good pull, and it's nice and tight on there. So that completes our hose installations, which, good news, this is the hardest part of your installation, and it's now over. Now we just want to re-clip our harness. So you're just going to slide it from the front, and it clips right in. Now we need to locate our mounting bolt, which is right here, this 10mm bolt. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Then you're going to take your J&L bracket and the supplied washer. You're going to put the bolt that you just removed through the bracket, the washer on the back side. The whole point of this washer is that this is recessed. So I just want to flatten this out so the bracket tightens against the insert versus the plastic. So I'm going to sit that down in there and get that bolt started. And we're going to tighten this bolt most of the way, but not all of the way. So just get it to where it's snug, but you can still move it, because we'll tighten it once everything is where we need it. Now you're going to take your oil separator and the supplied mounting screws, and you're going to fasten the oil separator to the bracket. You're going to line up the logos. They're both going to be facing the same direction. And you can tighten those screws up with your screwdriver. Now we need to make our hose connections. So we're going to put a little grease inside the hose ends. And then we're going to take our dress-up ends. We're going to slide it over our hoses and push it onto the connections. I'm tightening the bracket. You're going to want to clear this wiring harness here. And I'm going to say we look about good, but our final test will be when we refit the engine cover. We want to make sure the bracket's not interfering with it. So I'm just going to snug that up for now. And now we're going to refit our engine cover. Now on the back of the engine cover, there's these slots and the 2 grommets. These slots are for this bar that is in the back. You see that rubber insert that's on each side of the bar, so those are going to slide on. And then our grommets attach here and here by the oil fill cap. So we actually have to slide this cover in underneath the oil separator hose. And we're just going to work it back. Actually lines up pretty easily. And push it into that grommet, and then push it into that one. We're going to check the interference on our bracket. This actually looks pretty good. Just want a nice little air gap there so it doesn't rub against the cover long term. But that completes your installation. Now your average oil collection on most engines is about an ounce of oil every 1,000 miles. Some are less, some are more. There can be variance just between engines and drivers of the same exact vehicles depending on climate, driving style, if you're towing, so on and so forth. We suggest that you check the oil separator 1,000 miles after installing it, and that will give you an idea of how frequently you need to service it. Including your oil separator are these reminder stickers, which are similar to like an oil change sticker. Right now this truck has 6,083 miles, so I'm going to write 7,083 miles for this customer to check their oil separator the first time. These are included with your oil separator. It comes with 3, and they're also available on our website for purchase separately. Of course, you can keep track of this other ways with like your cell phone reminders and so on and so forth. So whatever is easiest for you, just ensure that you maintain your oil separator to keep your engine running at its best. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out. We'll see you on the next one.